Sa bawat simbahan, may panata. At sa bawat panata, may kwento. At sa bawat kwento, may mga pusong tapat na naghahanap, nagdarasal, at patuloy na lumalakad kasama ang Diyos. Sa episode na ito ng Sansay, makakasama natin ng isang taong malapit sa simbahan, isang lay theologian, mananalaysay, at bihasa sa mga simbolo ng pananampalataya.
Magandang araw po. Ako po si Brother Ivan Panganiban. Pero actually, when we say that you are a member of the ACSP, it's not the priest, it is the shrine itself. Ang isa sa mga naging bunga nito is yung ginawa ko na book in 2021. It's entitled The Role of Shrines in View of the New Evangelization. If we're going to have a simpler definition of what a basilica is, I would consider it as a second cathedral in every diocese.
Welcome to another episode of Sansay, where wisdom meets conversation. Halina't kilalanin natin si Brother Ivan Panganiban.
Magandang araw po. Ako po si Brother Ivan Panganiban. Ako po ang lay secretary po ng Association of Catholic Shrines and Pilgrimages of the Philippines, or ACSP. Ito po ang Pastoral Desk for Shrines and Pilgrimages under po ng ating pong Catholic Bishops Conference of the Philippines, particularly po sa Episcopal Commission on Migrants and Itinerant People.
So, full-time po kayo dito nagkatrabaho sa, or may iba pa po kayong?
Currently po, ang ACSP po kasi ay puro volunteers from different shrines across the Philippines. Currently po, I'm full-time po dito sa apostolate po na ito. But at the same time, I'm also teaching theology, saka church history in different schools. So, particularly sa Don Bosco School of Theology in Parañaque. So, ito po ay parang, kumbaga, apostolate in the sense na meron po itong pastoral work po talaga na malaki po ang naitutulong sa awa ng Diyos sa iba't iba po mga communities across the Philippines.
Can you give us a background? Paano kayo napasok rito? What brought you into this?
Well, kung ititrace ko siya doon sa pinakasimula't-simula, so when I was young, ako po kasi ay grew up in a religious family, and we came from Hagonoy, Bulacan. So my hometown has a national shrine, the National Shrine of Saint Anne. So nung nalaman ko na national shrine siya, so ano yung pagkakaiba niya sa isang simple lang na parokya o sa anumang klaseng simbahan? Tapos doon ko na found out na yung palang shrine, ito pala kakaibang lugar. It makes a church special kasi mayroong mga devotions, may mga deboto na pumupunta from different parts of the country. Kaya parang yun yung nag-pick ng interest ko. Then, when I became a seminarian, so nung ako ay nasa seminaryo, natutunan ko yung theology about ano ba yung special dun sa shrine, ano yung meron dito, ano yung popular piety, what makes a shrine, at eventually dun ko nakita yung kagandahan ng apostolate na ito. And although, yun nga po, ako po ay isang lay person ngayon, hindi po ako nagtuloy sa pagpapare, pero ang isang naging magandang blessing po kasi dito sa ginagawa ko ngayon is that, kumbaga, in a sense, yung pastoral work na ginagawa ko ngayon, visiting different shrines across the country as part of our responsibility, parang ginagawa na rin, parang tulad, halos kasi bigat na rin ng ginagawa ng mga pare. Pero in a way, kasi ang mga pare nasa mga communities nila while we are doing visitations and assessments to different shrine communities. Kaya, kumbaga, meron tong natatangi, special na apostolate work, kumbaga. And yun yung nakapag-inspire sa akin sa pagtuloy nitong ginagawa namin. Actually, ang isa sa mga naging bunga nito is yung ginawa ko na book in 2021. It's entitled The Role of Shrines in View of the New Evangelization. So, ang naging kagandahan dito sa work na ito, isa siyang manual, so to speak, na ito ay magiging gabay para sa iba't ibang mga rektor, para sa iba't ibang mga shrine communities kung paano sila mas magiging epektibo na mga pilgrim sites for different pilgrims coming to these places from across the country and even around the world.
Maganda po yung binigay yung backgrounder tungkol sa iba't ibang klase ng simbahan. Pero bago po tayo pumasok, bigyan niyo po kaming backgrounder ng ACSP or yung Association of Catholic Shrines and Pilgrimage. Ano po bang direktiba nito? Alam po natin, sinabi niyo na ang mandato galing sa CBCP. Meron bang mandato to galing, for example, sa isang mula sa Curia mismo o ano? Tapos ano ba siya? Para saan siya? Ano gamit?
Ang Association of Catholic Shrines and Pilgrimages of the Philippines ay nagsimula po noong 1991. So, it was established by the CBCP, particularly itong Episcopal Commission on Migrants and Itinerant People, dahil nagkaroon ng pagtawag si Pope John Paul II para magbuo ang bawat bansa ng National Association of Shrines. Dahil po dun sa gagawing ng World Congress on Shrines na in-establish niya 1992, the year after. So, in preparation for 1992, kaya nagkaroon ng ganitong association. Now, during that time, it was established by Bishop Gabi Reyes, who is at that time Bishop of Calibo. So, siya yung head noon ng ACSP. Tapos, from there, merong 15 na shrines na unang nagtipon noong October 24, 1991 sa Cebu. And these are some of the most famous shrines in the country now. We have Antipolo, Manaoag, Quiapo, Cebu, Peñafrancia, among others. And itong unang 15 shrines na ito ang nagbuo nitong ACSP. And ang naging task nila ay una, to represent the country sa mga international and regional forums about shrines. And syempre, to form a network na through this network, mas madadalian ang iba't ibang shrine to communicate with one another, to share their best practices on how they're able to accompany and journey with pilgrims, at kung ano yung mga different na facilities na pwedeng itayo ng bawat shrine. So, mas nagkakaroon ng uniformity in the sense na mas nakakatulong yung mga malalaking shrine sa mga maliliit na shrine and vice versa. Nagkakaroon ng joint promotion ng devotions. Actually, during the time it was established, ang pangalan niya ay ASRP, Association of Shrine Rectors and Pilgrimage Promoters in the Philippines. Kaso, habang nagtagal yung run na itong association, ang nagiging parang misconception was that ang akala ng marami, yung shrine rector ang member ng association. Kaya may times na kaya konti lang yung pumupunta kasi ang ina-expect nila ay yung mga pari lang ang pupunta. Pero actually, when we say that you are a member of the ACSP, it's not the priest, it is the shrine itself. Kumbaga, the priest only represents the community na yun yung shrine, yun yung member. That is why 2011, nagkaroon ng change to calibrate, kumbaga, yung name po ay from ASRP, ang naging name na niya ay ACSP. So, Association of Catholic Shrines and Pilgrimages of the Philippines. Anong naging ibig sabihin nun? It meant that nagkaroon ng mas focus doon sa community itself. So, for example, kung kunwari, busy ang rector o yung mga pari doon sa shrine in different activities, tapos may kailangan umattend sa meetings or sa assemblies nitong ACSP, the lay people of the shrine can represent the shrine. And they can even vote for decisions for their shrine. Kasi ang member is not the priest, but the shrine as a whole community. So, isang magandang nangyari dun is that nagkaroon talaga ng lay empowerment. It became a way para hindi lang yung mga priests yung involved doon sa administration or management ng isang dambana, kundi pati po yung mga lay people na kung tutuusin, sila din naman talaga yung everyday na nagwe-welcome sa mga pilgrims. Sila yung nagtitake ng mga steps para mas maging comfortable, mas maging at home ang mga pilgrims pagpunta nila dito sa shrine. Now, we are currently at 8 presidents. The 8th president is our current president, Father Reynante Tolentino. He was formerly the rector of Antipolo, which is now the International Shrine of Our Lady of Peace and Good Voyage. And ngayon, he is assigned in Cardona. It is also a very nice Marian shrine dedicated to the Holy Rosary. And it was he who gave the current setup of the ACSP, yung tinatawag natin na flagship program namin, yung Bukluran ng mga Dambana or Fellowship of Shrines. Kasi we noticed na throughout the years na nag-run ng ACSP, maraming mga bishops, maraming mga pare ang hindi na naging familiar with the ACSP because dahil nga naglilipatan yung mga pare. So, yung shrine na to active ngayon hindi active kasi the rector of that shrine na sumunod was not aware na meron palang ganito na networking and such. So ngayon, ang naging purpose nitong Bukluran ng mga Dambana is that kami na ngayon yung umiikot. The ACSP is now the one that is visiting the different shrines across the Philippines to give formation seminars, to make sure that the shrine is able to function in its role as a pilgrimage center. And especially ngayon, Pope Francis, he wrote this apostolic letter in 2017. It's entitled Sanctuarium in Ecclesia, or the shrine inside the church. So, he gave emphasis to the role of the shrine as a special church to becoming what we call as a center of new evangelization. Bakit? Kasi kung titignan natin from a pastoral perspective, kung meron tayong naging crisis, so to speak, na nagde-decrease ang mga taong palasimba, whenever these people ay nagkakaroon ng encouragement para magsimba ulit, na mag-confession ulit, na mag-devotion ulit, saan sila pupunta? They won't go to any kind of church. Most often than not, they will go to a shrine or a basilica or a special church na kahit sino pong taong tanungin natin, alam nila na nakikita nila ang Diyos when they go there. They encounter the Lord when they go to those shrines. And that is why nakikita namin yung vision ni Pope Francis dito na he values the shrines because in fact, these shrines are places where the new evangelization happens. Na muling nare-remind ang mga taong nakalimutan na ang buhay Kristiyano, ang pakikipag-usap sa Diyos, kung paano sila babalik. And that is very important for us because whenever a person is welcome in a shrine, we know that the faith increases. The people of God increases as a whole.
Maganda po yung sinabi nyo, no? Babalikan ko po isa-isa yan. Pero simulan po siguro natin, pinag-uusapan natin shrine. Pwede nyo ba ipaliwanag sa amin? Kasi shrine can be agnostic in terms of religion. May shrine, kunwari, ngayon, uso pumupunta sa Japan, di ba? May Torii shrine. Shrine yun. Ano po ba yung Catholic shrine? What's a Catholic shrine?
Well, if we're going to give a operational definition of a Catholic shrine, we can look to the Code of Canon Law. In 1983, when we had our recent Code of Canon Law sa Canon 1230, nakalagay doon that a shrine is a sacred place. So, by sacred, meaning it followed the functional liturgical rite. So, ibig sabihin, dapat may consecrated altar, may sanctuary kung saan pwedeng mag-hold ng mass, and a suitable area for confession. Then, it should be visited by many people because of certain popular piety. So, ibig sabihin, a number one requirement for a shrine is dapat merong existing devotion na hindi lang yung mga tao from that area ang nakakakilala dun sa devotion na yun, kundi malawakan, everyone. But there is a second clause, a second part of that sentence is that dapat this place should be approved by the local ordinary. So it means that it's not supposed to be just a place where people gather because of a certain devotion, but is this approved and recognized by a diocese? That is why that differentiates yung shrines na talagang alam natin as Catholic shrines from shrines na parang places lang na tinawag na shrine in the sense that merong certain doon na attraction or interest, pero hindi naman talaga siya church property or under the care of the Catholic Church itself or certain diocese. So mahalaga na alam natin yung definition na yon. It is visited by many people. It is a functional place of worship of the liturgy, and at the same time, it has canonical approval. So, technically speaking, wala po tayong kinds of shrine because there's only one reason why a shrine became a shrine. It's because of that devotion that really inspires people. And kung titignan natin sa Code of Canon Law, pinrovide na rin nila kung wala po tayong kinds of shrine. So ano ang meron tayo? We have what we call levels of shrine. So we have diocesan shrine, national shrine, and international shrine. So the adjective, what describes the shrine, is important. Bakit? Because it allows us to understand na meron parang level of promotion and level of influence na meron dapat itong mga shrines na ito. So, for example, we have international shrine. So, if we're going to contextualize it here in the Philippines, we have Antipolo as our first and at present the only international shrine of the Philippines and Southeast Asia. Kapag sinabi natin that it has international renown, so it works two ways. It works ad intra, papasok, and ad extra, or palabas. So, ad intra, it means that as an international shrine, the place is able to gather different people from across the world. So, it caters to pilgrims not only Filipino, but also from people of different nationalities. That's why it's important, for example, when we go to Antipolo, we have this ministry there. It's called the Pacem Ministry. So, they are trained in English and Filipino. They are the ones who are providing free tours so that merong systematic na way in order to guide pilgrims in different locations in the shrine, and eventually they will learn more from the experience of being there. Then that's only inside. How about outside? So as an international shrine, meron dapat outside promotion. So since it's international, it means that the promotion is from different countries across the world. That's why Antipolo has what we call pilgrimage partners. So currently we have 10 pilgrimage partners. 4 are in the Europe. So we have in Rome, in Milan, in Italy. Then we have in Valladolid and Barcelona in Spain. Then in the United States, merong 6 locations. 3 are in California, in the West Coast. Tapos, there are 3 in the East Coast, the largest of which is yung oratory ng Our Lady of Antipolo sa Basilica and National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception sa Washington, D.C. So, through these pilgrimage centers, nagkakaroon ng promotion ang shrine with the help of other local communities from those countries. Kaya mas napopromote ang devotion sa Our Lady of Peace and Good Voyage from the outside. So, national shrine and diocesan shrine is katulad ng sinabi ko. So, it means that meron siyang promotion going from the inside. So, many pilgrims from across the country go to a national shrine. Just like in Baclaran, marami pumupunta, especially during Wednesday. And at the same time, yung devotion sa ating Mother of Perpetual Help, for example, is held every Wednesday in different parishes across the country. So, merong outside promotion as well. Now, sa diocesan shrine, ganun din. Actually, marami tayong diocesan shrines. Mas maraming diocesan shrines of all of the shrines across the nation. Currently po, we have 328 shrines across the country. So, of those 328, we have 33 that are national shrines. We have around, I think, if I'm not mistaken, already at around 30 na din na basilicas, more or less around 30 basilicas, and the rest of those are diocesan shrines. So, the diocesan shrine naman is promoting in the diocese itself or even in neighboring provinces. So, kung merong pilgrims who are coming, they could cater to those pilgrims. And at the same time, kung merong mga areas within the province or within neighboring regions na hindi kilala yung patron na yon, so yung outside promotion naman nila, yung ad extra is they're visiting those places. So, nakikita natin yung way of life ng isang shrine through these different stages or levels of a shrine.
Maganda po yung paliwanag nyo, no? Then, bago ko po ituloy, you mentioned kasi that there are may diocesan shrine, may national, saka may international
Yes.
shrine. Ano? Siguro ikwento natin, how does a shrine become one? So, for example, simulan natin, diocesan. Maganda po yung sinabi niyo sa canon law na it requires the imprimatur, the blessing of the local ordinary.
Yes.
So, ang ating RCA po siguro ang ang susi ron. Paano po ba nagsisimula maging shrine ng isang lugar, isang simbahan for example?
Well, it actually should start with with an organic promotion of the devotion. So, ibig sabihin, nakikita natin na maraming mga taong pumupunta rito, maraming nagte-testify, may mga patotoo, testimonies, na from different people, coming from different all walks of life, from different places, na nagsasabi sila na when they come to this place, nagkakaroon sila ng extraordinary moment in such a way that they're able to find God in their lives, they're able to rediscover their faith, na mas nagkaroon sila ng malaking panata sa Diyos at doon sa patron saint, na na-inspire sila doon sa patron saint na yon. Then from there, doon makikita through pastoral discernment, either by the people themselves or by the pastors, the priests who are from the shrine, they can make a petition, so to speak, to the local ordinary, to the bishop, wherein from there, they are able to prove that marami na pong pumupunta rito from different places, marami pong nagsasabi na this is a place that should be granted more privileges. So that is why, from that end, yung bishop, he decides to, with the endorsement of, for example, perhaps the Council of Consultors or the Presbyterial Council, na ito pong place na ito ay maging shrine. So, for example, kung titignan natin yung way of different diocesan shrines now, so may gagawa ng document wherein the proper documentation allows us to see na mayroong mga proofs of devotion. And from there, doon mag-i-issue ng decree ang bishop na this is already a shrine. Kaya nga, for example, even at the ACSP, in our Association of Shrines, it is important for us na dapat lahat ng shrine ay merong decree, merong kasulatan. Why? Kasi it differentiates a shrine on a parang hindi considered legitimate or hindi nire-recognize ang diocese from a shrine that is recognized by the diocese. Why is that important? Kasi, di ba dun sa Canon 1230 to 1234, sinasabi doon that the shrine is able to give the abundance of the grace of salvation. That happens because of the indulgence. Diba? When a pilgrim enters a shrine, they receive the plenary indulgence as long as they are able to do the 3 essential requirements, which are to pray for the Holy Father, then to have confession either immediately before, during, or after their pilgrimage to the shrine, and to accept communion, to join the celebration of the Mass, either immediately before, during, or after the pilgrimage. Yung pong system na yon of how the shrine is able to give indulgence, that happens if the shrine is declared as a shrine according to canon law. So, kailangan po talaga yung declaration from the bishop. So, it is the only way for us to know that the shrine is able to give the grace of indulgence. Then, of course, it is the same for the international shrine and for the national shrine. The only difference is that binigyan siya ng mas malaking role. In the sense na mas malaki na yung gampanin niya sa buong bansa. If it's a national shrine, it's supposed to be known throughout the country. And if it's an international shrine na Rome na ang mag-grant ng title na yon, it is recognized by the entire world. Kapag kunwari ang isang deboto ay mahilig magprosesyon, mahilig magtulos ng kandila, mahilig maglakad ng paluhod, hindi naman nagsimba. Shrines need pilgrims and pilgrims need shrines.